Hi guys, I'm Manuela, your host on this YouTube channel. As I said previously, this channel is mainly focused on theatrical makeup, head dress making, and basically how to extend your creativity. For this kind of headdresses, you can go check my Etsy shop, and if you like theatrical makeup, you can consider subscribing to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to present to you how to do your own filigree makeup. But as you can see, this filigree makeup goes very nicely with this statement headpiece, which is, by the way, very easy to wear. So if you like this look, just stay with me for the next video. So here are some details of my totally handcrafted headpiece with latex embellishments, as well with some pearls and 2 silk artificial flowers. So first of all, I'm going to prep my skin with a light moisturizer, which I really like to use. Second, and the most important layer, will be how you glue your eyebrows. I think this is one of the most important steps, because if it is done proper, then your makeup will run smoothly. I have a tiny beast that helps me be a little faster. To see if the glue is completely dry, you can only touch it, and if it doesn't really feel sticky, then definitely you can move on to the next step. But I totally recommend you, before applying something creamy, to set them with a powder. For this time I'm gonna use Kryolan translucent powder, which is actually one of my favorite ones. Basically, if you want to be creative, you don't really have to go, at first at least, with something very niche. So I'm gonna use like regular beauty products, which will include Revlon Color Stay or MAC Pro Longwear as concealers. But this one from Revlon I'm gonna use on my eyebrows, and this one from MAC I'm gonna use as a regular concealer, because basically it's one of my favorites. It doesn't really crease, so yeah, it's very nice. 2 pumps will be sufficient. As foundation, I'm using Double Wear from Estée, which as well is one of my favorites, and I'm not going to use it with a wet sponge but with a dry sponge, because I don't really fancy today a very light coverage. So in terms of coverage, this foundation is mid-range, so it's not the full coverage, no, not at all. And definitely it's not very natural either, so it's kind of the midway. But the best part of this foundation is that actually stays in place, like really stays in place. Well, of course, when you talk to the phone or something, or you do some things like that, definitely it will transfer, but yeah, it is way better than any other product I've tried. So it really works for me. That doesn't mean it doesn't have, I don't know, people that dislike this product. Oh my god, I really love it. It has a tiny sheer, but it doesn't make your skin look, I don't know, dewy. I love the dewy trend, but I don't feel like it's very suitable to any types of skin. If you have an oily skin like mine, or combination, and your pores are quite big, then a dewy foundation, nah, it doesn't really work. So this will be one of my first steps to cover my eyebrows. So this concealer has a very good coverage, and it stays in place, as the name says, Color Stay. And again, to feel them secure, I'm gonna add a second layer of powder. and then all over my face. As an eye base, I'm going to use Filigree 02 Rumor. I do have in mind for today a very glamish smoky, and all of my drawings will come in a shape of an harlequin, and of course you can extend those kind of drawings into something else, maybe a skeleton, or maybe, I don't know, a bird or a butterfly. You can be creative with the shapes and as well with the colors. And my favorite eyeliner will be my first step doing this makeup. So my favorite all times eyeliner is Infinity from Illamasqua, meaning the gel eyeliner black, in terms of black colors. I use this one. I know that's a shame, but try this to see how it goes. Believe me, you won't go back. With a fluffy natural hair bristle brush, and I'm starting from the outer corner of my eyes, trying to build a shade. Remember, a classic smoky has the eyelashes line the most intense and goes upwards in slightly different shades, meaning most of the time brightest than the lash line. And because I really wanted to go for a very upwards makeup, I'm going to build a shade here, trying as much as possible to blend it out, but in a very upwards, in a very diagonal way, if it makes sense. Okay, and as well I'm going down to have the whole idea of my shape. I really like those kind of makeup looks that lift your eyes, literally lift your eyes, like bam, like that. Oh my god, they are so lovely. Try to blend it very nicely, and to lose any edges here that might look like a failed blend. So I really like this black eyeshadow from Maroon because it is the blackest and for me is the easiest to work with, and you're gonna see why. I'm using a tiny blender, and before I put the color I double check to see if it is any creamy product creased in my crease. If it is, I'm going back and smooth it out. Now I think this is one of the most important steps when you try to do very good blending. Okay, so starting with a tiny bit of color, you can see how black it is. Okay, you can tap it into the skin. So as you can see, I just leave a tiny part here of a grayish something, which is, yes indeed, the black eyeliner smooth away, but I just leave it to actually be able to do my transition of colors very smoothly, and this step is very important for you to do. Now with a clean brush, I'm going to blend out the edges of my black eyeshadow and try as much as possible to focus on tiny areas, because if I'm going to go here, or I don't know, skip into the creamy product, and definitely there I will have an unwanted spot. And after I do this, like really I'm sure that it is all blended out very nicely, I'm gonna go with the next color as well from Krylon. With this one, what I have black in it, I'm gonna double check my crease, and as well I'm gonna add an extra dimension to what I did previously. Underneath my eyes, I'm gonna go as well with some fine details and blend as much as possible. And as well, I'm gonna use some warm colors to go very nicely with the colors already used in my headdress. Now, what I'm going to do is use some shimmery pigment around my inner corner, and then I'm gonna go with my filigree. So for the pigment, I'm using something very cooperish from Maron as well, and something more like in a golden tone from Makeup Forever, which will be this one, Goldust shade from Makeup Forever. So golden and copper. To add a different texture to all my shimmery look, I'm gonna use as well some makeup fixer from MAC, and I'm gonna apply all of this with a natural applicator. Okay, so only a tiny amount of fixer and only a tiny amount of pigment. Oh my god, this Maron pigment is like, oh, so thick. You can go with this part as much as you like it, as it really suits you. I'm gonna stop here at the half of my eye. Now it's very important the blend between the black and the cooperish color, which will be done with the red undertone I've used here. Okay. And as well on the lower side of my eyes. Next step will be the eyeliner, and I'm using a felt pencil eyeliner from Collection, which is not too bad but not too fancy either, somewhere in between, but definitely worth the money because it's about And now I'm going upwards with my eyeliner. And now the eyelashes. I'm gonna go as well with the other eye, doing the same thing and keeping the eyebrows clean. So this will be the look on my eyes, and starting from here I'm gonna add some drawings that they are related to this kind of embellishment, meaning I'm gonna draw some filigree on top of my eyebrows as well on all of my face to look like an harlequin. For this I'm gonna start with building some light shadows in the shape I want to achieve. So I have this idea in my mind to have the harlequin triangle here, the harlequin triangle as well here, and maybe the tear, and to build very nicely some beautiful drawings, and I'm gonna stay asymmetrical. All my drawings will have as well some shimmery pigments that you will find on top of my headpiece, my latex embellishments headpiece. So I'm starting with a very nice Imperial Iris, which is very popular while doing this kind of embellishment, and you can find it, oh my god, all over the place. It's a very well known sign for royalty. This pencil I'm using is from NYX, NYX. So using a tiny flat applicator, I'm gonna add as well some shadows to my golden drawing. With a tiny applicator, I'm gonna go as well with the lighter shade to build my filigree with shades and stuff. Before I start doing all the details, I'm gonna go as well with some colored contouring. To add some extra fine details to all the draw, I'm gonna use as well the same pigment from Maron, and I'm gonna mix it with something that keeps him smooth for a longer time than a regular makeup fixer. So this one really dries quickly, but this one, the Magic Primer from Atelier Paris, keeps it very smooth. Really important detail regarding Magic Primer from Atelier Paris is that when it's completely dried, it becomes totally waterproof. I'm gonna add some bronzy pigments which will be more blended into my headpiece, because for now we are so cooperish and I have to go a bit more bronzy. And I'm using as well Maron Gem Powder, Precious Powder in the shade of Tiger's Eye. Same Magic Primer from Atelier Paris. And now the final touch, which will be done with the collection eyeliner. Try to add as many details as possible to your drawing. They will literally do the difference. One thing that I really like to add are lower lashes, and you can draw them very easily. So what else gives you dimension to your drawing? Shadows and of course some lights. I'm gonna add as well some tiny little pearls which I've used also on my headdress. To apply very easy rhinestones, you have to wait for the glue to kind of dry out, just a few seconds, because if it is too wet then they will fall and it becomes very tricky. For the lips, I'm using a very nice pencil from Paris Berlin and as well a very nice liquid lipstick from NYX. So this will be my final makeup filigree look. Thanks again for watching, and as well, if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. If you want to see how my headpieces are done, you can go visit my Etsy shop. And until the next week, which will be probably Friday or Saturday, just stay safe, hugs and kisses. This is Dark Harlequin, and see you guys soon.